I've arrived at the boat and I know it's been hot, but it's not the med, and these seats were perfectly white. But look at them now. I've tried to clean them since I arrived, because the first thing I did was got the brush and the cloth out, but the colour has been washed out of the white vinyl. Oh boy, how I was so wrong about what the damage was to those seats. I wish it had been just a tiny little bit of sun damage. I'd covered the seats up when we left to come back home, but something had changed. I came back 2 weeks later and this is what I found. Well, I've come back to the boat again, and what I found last month I thought was just sun bleaching of the cushions. They've been covered up since the last time I visited the boat, and this staining is worse. These cushions are all turned over, and on the back here this was all covered, and you can see that discoloration is absolutely atrocious, and it seems to be like a brown mould almost, but it's not. Oh Gav, how wrong you were. That's exactly what it is. It's a type of orangey brown mould that grows into the vinyl, and if you're not careful, everywhere you sit you'll pick the spores up and you'll transfer them to somewhere else where there is no mould. I didn't know what to do. I tried to clean it with mould and mildew remover, it hadn't worked, and I scrubbed it again with some soapy water, and that too hadn't. So I took to the internet and I found an American channel that said the only way you're going to shift this is to mix up a low concentration bleach solution and allow it to soak into the vinyl, and it will lift the mould out. And so what I did was mixed up some solution. I used 1 part bleach to 9 parts water, and then I soaked some cloth, and I tried to avoid the stitching so I wouldn't weaken it, and placed it on the areas where the mould was and just left it to soak. This is the solution that I've been advised by an upholstery restorer to do to get rid of the orange mould. It's to mix up some weak solution of bleach and soak it into some cloth and leave it on the brown mould or the orange mould, and that should lift it out of the vinyl. But what the main point of doing this is to kill off all the spores, because the advice he gave me was if you sit on this and you transfer the spores, you'll transfer them all over your boat, and you could actually end up with this same mould growing on just about every lining you have. So it's a bit drastic. What I've done is I've soaked it and just left it there for up to an hour, and then what I'm doing is I'm thoroughly washing them off with a light detergent and then just clean water and letting them air dry. Hopefully this will reduce the amount of mould that's actually in the vinyl on the seats. Ultimately though, it may mean we may think about reupholstering the rear of the boat. Having tried mould and mildew remover, white vinegar, a good old scrub with water and soap, and now this, we've got them as clean as we possibly can. But if you've got any ideas about how we can remove this permanently, please do leave a comment. We'd love to hear from you. Also, don't forget to like and subscribe and press that little bell, because that really helps us. And lastly, I can't rule out that this little chap didn't have something to do with it. We'll see you in a week or two's time when we're away on our summer cruise, and hopefully bring you some amazing new adventures.